I'm here today at Palace Cinemas and I've got the privilege to be with the executive producer of Broken Vessels, Jeff Vega. Jeff, how are you?
Oh man, I'm doing wonderful.
You've travelled a long way to be here.
Yes, I have, and Australia is a great country. The people are fantastic, and we just came out of the premiere, and it was wonderful. It was well received, and man, I'm just totally elated. This actually film came about as a result of one of my clients being a traumatic brain injury survivor, and she had such a compelling story that we decided that we needed to do it to share with actually now in Australia to the world, basically. And originally, it was our first premiere was supposed to be in Kansas City, but because we met Norita from Australia, and one thing led to another, and she invited me here, and she said, Jeff, I will put on a premiere if you'll come. And if you know Norita, you can't tell her no. She invited me to come to a conference, and she said, Jeff, you come to the conference, and I'll show the film a few days later here. And so, as I said, I couldn't tell her no, and I came, and we're here tonight, and we've had a wonderful event, packed house.
Well done and congratulations on an incredible premiere, and I'm sure this is going to touch a lot of hearts. I'm here today with the incredible Norita Omar, who's a survivor of a brain injury, and she is today an incredible inspiration to a lot of the survivors of brain injuries and other things. She's a public speaker, she's a coach, and she's now being interviewed on this incredible feature film. Norita, tell us what's your involvement here and why Broken Vessels?
Well, here's the thing. I started Strive and Thrive after losing my friend to suicide, and for 3 years, all the work that I did with Strive and Thrive around, positive mental health, in the niche of depression, anxiety, creating awareness about suicide prevention and all that. But I have always, in my heart, wanted to do something for my own community, which is the brain injury community, because that's my story. I'm a brain injury survivor. When I was in the theater, I have to constantly remind myself of my present time, that this is who am I today. But bringing back 13 years ago, it was very challenging. It was so challenging that I actually, didn't want to be around anymore. But however, I'm just so blessed. I personally believe that I was meant to be here, and I had to go through everything that I went through to do what I do today. And from there, from one thing led to another, and I started visualizing something beautiful in store for me. So instead of feeling like my life is over, I start, shifting my mind, focusing on there could be something beautiful in store for me. And from there, the first thing I did was asking for help. And to some people, maybe it's not a big deal, but to me, at that time, I was this person who never asked for help. So asking for help was a big thing for me. And I really love this term new normal, because we have been conditioned while we were growing up that things supposed to be a certain way, or a person should be a certain way. Like, for example, you finish school, you're supposed to get a job, or you're supposed to go to uni, or you're supposed to find someone and get married, or you're supposed to be like this or like that. But when you go through such a traumatic experience where you actually have to really go through this self-discovery of who you truly are, and then accept yourself as the way you are, regardless of what society or people think. So my first 2 years, I burned out a lot. I had chronic pains, and I was in bed like every month. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, 2 days or 3 days, but sometimes 5 days. And there was a point of time, it was 6 days. And I had to work from the bed and all that. But then I realized that, if I were to do this, I have to take care of myself, because if I'm sick all the time, then I'm not able to do what I want to do. And if I do not look after myself, then one day I'm going to get worse, and that's it. I'm not going to be able to continue this work. And with that, it takes sacrifices, because I have to say no to social parties. I have to say no to social gatherings, because I'm at home meditating, yeah.
I think everyone who wants to learn more about people with head injury and how to support family members, or they might even have it themselves, I couldn't recommend it enough. It was absolutely amazing.
I found it, very touching and a bit sad at stages in there, to realise that these people, it's going to affect them for the rest of their life.
It's quite raw. It was emotional at times, and I think it would touch a lot of hearts because it was real. It was the real deal.
I'm Bas Tadros for Undercurrent.